Hello Petals and welcome to today's video. Today I want to say first of all thank you for all the support you've been showing and reaching over 600 subscribers. That's like so many people in a very short time. So thanks for showing support. So for the rest of this video I wanted to show some cards I made. They're based off a proper game. I don't know if you've heard of Top Trumps cards, but I made my own cards based off like that. So these cards were made from a story I've written. The story is called Planet Protectors, and it may be one of the first ones I do for story time. So, showing the cards. First, they've been numbered as well. I think there's 18, because they say out of how many, so there's only 18, so it's not like a full set, because I didn't finish it. And someone has drawn the images, because I can't draw. I just did all the details on it, and edited them, and printed them and laminated them. So I've had them a while. They've got a slight border of white because I can't cut them neatly enough. I tried to get them all the same size as well, but they're not. They're all different sizes. So first card is Tristan Blake. He's one of the main characters in the story. He's the team leader of the small team who you see in the beginning. So that's card 1. Card 2 is Ron Davidson. It's not his full name because I give him quite an unusual name that is actually written as Norway backwards. So that's his name. I don't know how to pronounce it. So he's like the childish rebel type one of the group, and he follows Tristan and the others in his little team. Oh, they also have special powers as well. Tristan's he's very strong. Ron has all the guns and the weapons. Next is Jada Hendricks. She's another one of the team. Her power is weather. She can control the weather, create storms and stuff. So that's card 3. Her best friend is Suzumi Young. I thought she's a very cute one, and they're like opposites as well. So Jada's blonde, and Suzumi's got dark hair, and Jada's quite tall, and Suzumi's quite short. So they're like opposites, and Suzumi has power of healing, so she heals up people. So she's like not quite a doctor, but not a nurse, so she's sort of in the middle. She's like on battlefield medic kind of thing. And the last one, not the last one, the 5th one of the team is Rose Bloom, one of my favourites. I think she is my favourite because I think she's like most like me. She's quite shy. She's a smart one, and her power is invisibility. So she goes invisible and she fights as being invisible, which is quite a good power because well, she can fight while invisible, and they all think it's like a ghost and they run away from her. That's kind of giving away a bit of the story, but I may put a spoiler in the spoiler, what do you call it, in the title of the video. I couldn't think what to call it and tell you about it. It's been a spoiler if you don't want to know details of the story time before the story actually comes out. The last member of the team is actually the pilot, because they need to get to the places. So he's not actually part of the team, but he is. He's part of the organisation that they're all part of, and that's Ethan Kemp. He's the pilot, and he has powers as well, but you don't really get to see him much because he stays on the jet. His power is like acid spray, so that's kind of like a fly. The next card is like the main boss of the group. So she's like higher up than Tristan. She organizes the smaller group, so she's like in charge of the whole organization. And she is Galaxy O'Brien. That's all I'm going to say about her. I don't want to give away too much about her because she has a big secret. The next card is her little sister, who's 15 and too young to go on missions, so that's Solaris O'Brien. And I won't tell you too much about her either, because not too good happens with her around. She complains at her sister to go on missions because, well, she can't complain. She wants to be part of the team, but her sister says it's too dangerous for her and she should concentrate with school. And that's all I'm going to say about her. Next is Joel Bloom, who is Rosie's brother. He's her younger brother, but he's old enough to be part of a team. And he kind of works more with the research side of things. So he works with Rose on research and stuff, because they have to research before missions, and he helps write reports and stuff. So he's technical. The next card is kind of one that's not in the story, but is. He doesn't get named. And that's Dr. Kyle Foster. And you can probably guess what he does. He's a doctor. He treats people. Most of the time Ron. So that's the doctor that treats Ron. I won't tell you why. Next card is Robot 1. They guard the bad guy. And he's also got second robot. These are giant robots. How tall did I make them? Very tall. I don't know how tall that is. It's like 300 feet. Next card is the bad guy, and we call him Anthony Dixon. So that's him. He invades the base. It's a secret base, so you'll find out how he gets in. But I won't tell you at the moment how he gets in. Next card is someone the team meet on a mission. And kind of important mission. He's General James Prince, and he's got a big ego. But the team, well, the girls, Susie and Jada, they kind of use they sort of trick him with his ego. Next one is President Lian Richardson. I don't know presidents, so I made up my own president. So he's in charge of the US, and he sends the general and the team on the mission to stop Anthony. Next three cards are just part of Anthony's team. They don't get mentioned by name, but you've got Chris Dukes, Jacob Joe, and Kim Hart. And these three have names because they may come into a second book of story time. I don't know how else to say it, because you can't say part 1 or part 2 because it's quite a long story, part 1. I mean, like the first story is quite long, so it may go over a few parts, and then I may do another one, and then back to Planet Protectors with like the second book, and then I think there's a third one as well. I've done quite a few with the Planet Protectors. They're kind of one of my favourites, and I've done a lot of work on those. that's the reason for making the cards. It was one of my favourites at the time, and I put their things. So they've got their strength, their height, evilness, age, shoe size, and IQ. And I think the smartest person is either Galaxy or Rose. It's Rose, and then Anthony, and then Galaxy. I thought Galaxy was smarter than Anthony. Apparently not. So Rose is the smartest. I'm not sure who the oldest is. It's probably Anthony. The robots are kind of young. 2 and 5. So they're young. And they don't have very high IQ either. The second robot's taller than the first one. So there's a lot of details on those cards, and I know I'm just not really talking about anything important. I'll put those down. So Planet Protectors is a new series coming out. I will put the word spoilers in the title, so if you're watching this, you're probably reading the title anyway. So if you're watching this, you know it's spoilers for the story time with the Planet Protectors, which may be the second story out, because I've already started the first one. As I don't know if you don't want to know, you can turn off the video now or skip ahead. But the first story will be Evangeline and the Deadly Spell. So that's the first one. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already, share with your friends, and comment what you think. I think that's all. Bye!